Hello and welcome for the Love of Movies review for Godzilla. I'm Stephen Monkey Mason from Lonely Train Entertainment. I will be back in the Outtakes where we talk about Godzilla, the remake of the remake. See you in the Outtakes. Godzilla. Godzilla.
One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.
Okay, so today I'm unboxing a Blu-ray. A Blu-ray I don't really know much about, so I will be collaborating with another YouTube creator, because this YouTube creator is a massive, massive Godzilla fan, and he knows a lot more about the Godzilla movies than me. So I will open it, and obviously I've just told you, it's Godzilla. But which Godzilla is it? So I had a quick count up before. Just on Google, I just typed in Godzilla movies and I counted down. There's about 49 Godzilla movies. So I bought this one. Let's get into it, man. Godzilla. So have a quick look at the box there. Is that looking? Yeah, there we go. Bring it into the light a bit. Blu-ray plus Ultra HD Violet. Quick look at the box. Not many pictures or anything on the back of the box there. Nothing really to go by. Thrilling says shortlist. Unmissable says the Daily Mirror. Awesome says the Daily Star Sunday. This spectacular adventure pits Godzilla, the world's most famous monster, against malevolent creatures that, bolstered by humanity's scientific arrogance, threatens our very existence. So like I say, I don't really know much about any Godzillas really. The only Godzillas I know of was probably the 1978 cartoon Godzilla and Godzuki, which I absolutely love the cartoon. So when I seen a movie coming out, I expected the movie to be a lot like the cartoon. And I wanted it to be like the cartoon where they call the Godzilla on the button to come and help them out and fight like Mothra and all that type of stuff. And it just never happened.
From the depths, 30-story high, green fire is head in the sky. Godzilla, Godzilla.
The first Godzilla movie I seen, it was about 2000, 2001, I can't remember the exact year. It was the one with Matthew Broderick. I'm not the biggest fan of Matthew Broderick. I don't really like Matthew Broderick in any movies. I like him in probably his Deck the Halls. That's probably only because he's getting tortured off Danny DeVito. I like him in The Cable Guy, kind of, but that's only because he's getting tortured off Jim Carrey. So this one here is the 2014, and it's directed by Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards, he done Rogue One, the Star Wars. I really like Rogue One, so that's put us onto this as well. I really want to get into Godzilla, because I see a lot of other people with Godzilla, and obviously the lad who I'm putting on from Lonely Tree Entertainment is a massive Godzilla fan. So I'm hoping this is going to bring us back to enjoying Godzilla and his death ray breath thing that he's got going on. Just a quick look at the inside there. Not really a very good disc. No picture on it, just Godzilla with either, I think it must be Japanese or Chinese. It is Japanese. I think it was the Japanese that let off all the atom bombs years ago around testing the bombs, and that's what's meant to have created Godzilla. So, without further ado, I will put you over to Lonely Tree Entertainment, and he can tell you all about Godzilla. Godzilla. I don't have a clue. Stephen.
Okay, now Mark's filled you in on his thoughts. Well, I have no idea what Mark thinks of it. He might absolutely blate the film and I'll be like, motherfucker, get out the family. Like, literally go. Like, go, God. I'm a massive fan of Godzilla, all the way from back. A lot of people don't realise Godzilla's that old. A lot of people just think 1990 happened and 1996 happened and that was Godzilla. And people go, oh, I didn't realise it was a remake. I didn't realise it was like almost 50 odd bloody fucking movies. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm going to keep walking off camera here. Filming on my phone. I don't like filming on my phone, but this makes it easier for Mark. But yeah, I'm talking about... Oh my God, I'm talking about a fucking hernia. I'm not fucking acting here. Jesus. I made that out of solid concrete and bricks. Fucking sorry. still screams. Hang on. Oh, right, yeah, okay. Shut the fuck up, man. Right, so I'm a massive fan of Godzilla. And as I said, a lot of people don't realise that the 90s one was a remake. Godzilla is founded off the fallout of nuclear, and Japan went, oh fucking hell, look what happened to us at Hiroshima and Hiroshima. And they got banned from making war movies, so they went off and made big rubber suit monkeys. Monsters. So Godzilla was born. Oh, Godzilla, if you want to say his name right, I'll absolutely butcher it. Now, if you look behind, there's a lot of things of Godzilla bombing around. That's the original Godzilla there. Godzilla 85, which is a direct sequel. Decades later, they made a direct sequel, which is Sinister. And then in between Godzilla 85 and the original Godzilla, we had a lot of, like, Godzilla went from being scary as fuck to, like, a TV Saturday morning kids show. You know, there's ones where he's dancing around, there's ones where he's doing flying drop kicks, there's ones where, you know, Jet Jaguar is running around and he's like a fucking Power Ranger. Like again, if we didn't have Godzilla movies, we wouldn't have Power Ranger movies and shit like that. So you roll all that up, and a lot of people remember Mechagodzilla, or a lot of people, top camera there, just say Godzilla versus King Kong and stuff like that. And then Roland Emmerich in the 90s came along, and, you know, Stargate was a big hit. Universal Soldier before that was a big hit. Independence Day was a massive hit, and enough to warrant to bring Godzilla to the Americans, and they basically take it, and as in the real story is the Japanese blame the Americans, so the Americans blame the French, and Matthew Broderick's running around, and Godzilla comes to Manhattan, and it goes all, I mean, don't get us wrong, Godzilla has a son, there's a son of Godzilla movie, but it gets fucking mental, man. It's running around and it looks like a fucking weird lizard, and it's all CGI and turns into Jurassic Park and throw your popcorn at the screen, and it's raining all the time. It's like, fuck, like, Paul Ray's always like, oh, it's the best movie. And anyone's a fan of the original Godzillas, and you look back at that and you go, oh, I mean, it left open at the end because they wanted a sequel, they wanted to make a trilogy, and Japan went, nah, not after what the fuck you've just done. Now, if you check out on YouTube and type in Godzilla versus Godzilla, you'll see the original Godzilla take on Zilla, as he's now known, in a movie called Final Wars, which I did have handy. It's around, is it that? I'm sure my foot's just broken. Yeah, Final Wars. See, Godzilla was reborn in 2000 after what the Americans were doing, and then in Final Wars, every fucker's in this thing. I wonder if this actually plays. I might actually watch this. But yeah, it's mental. And there's one bit where some 41 rock in, and there you go. Godzilla versus Godzilla. It's worth watching. So, sour taste has been left in the mouths of fans. Now, years later, well, Godzilla was coming out. Now, that's an oversized Empire magazine, signed by the director. Godzilla... When I first heard that they were going to try and make a Godzilla, I was a bit worried because I seen a film called Monsters that the director did. But what the director did was basically have no budget, studies CGI and stuff like that, went around the Mexican border, made a movie, filled it all in with CGI, and that was Monsters. And, you know, when you think what you were going to watch, you're like, ugh, it wasn't really float your boat. The guys went on to do a lot of stuff in Star Wars and shit like that, but as a fan of Godzilla, I mean, I've got a tattoo of Godzilla there, but as a fan of Godzilla, I was curious, and I liked what they did. I mean, you look at the DVD, you look at the Blu-ray, you look at the steelbooks, they keep on changing the artwork for it. It's Warrant, you know, it's going to come out under Warner Brothers now, not Columbia Pictures. And Japan was smart, so basically they weren't willing to license any of the other creatures, so you get Godzilla. And I tell you what, when I went to see this at the movies, and I was grants at the time, so it took me 85-year-old gran to see Godzilla. Just to get her out the house. I've seen the original when it first came out. I was like, right, okay, that's why I'm taking it. I mean, and I remember watching that, in freebie and just been blown away. And what I think about the movie is they had a lot to do with that, because obviously the origin story need to be changed, and the idea of making Godzilla a force of nature. And again, they are wanting, when they made this movie, to build a multiverse. They're wanting to Kong to come along a couple of years later. They want to make a sequel of this. So they're trying to build a foundation, and I think they did it really well. A lot of people are like, fucking hell, man, Bryan Cranston was meant to be in it, and he gets fucking killed off. And it's like, well, he was making Breaking Bad. He's in Why Not with James Franco. He was a busy fucking man. And then it typically had a few trailer shots that are completely different in the movie, especially with the closing of the doors, right? So anyway, fucking rant, keep going. I love the score. And a lot of people go, oh, it's a little bit so. I say, you need to build a foundation. Like, the idea of, like, the motors and all that, like, nesting, and they're going to come out, and, like, there needs to be a credible threat. But you also need to, like, you need to sort of, like, because this is so fucking grounded, you need to go, right, there's an absolutely skyscraper-sized fucking monster, like, underneath the earth, that I love in the movie, that they fucking hint that they knew about it. And it's almost like a direct reference to the original, going, oh yeah, this has kind of happened before, but we're like, fucking hell. And again, when you see all the trailers and that, was all hyped. I love the score. And I love the suspense. I love the build-up. I think the special effects are fucking class. But everyone was like, oh, as soon as the monster's going to fight, it cuts to black. And you kind of go, right, yeah, because, again, that's what the director's doing. It's almost like got this wrestling mentality about it, where it's building it up, it's building it up. You know, the big foot comes down, and, like, he stands there and he roars, and you go, and then it cuts away, you're like, what the fuck? And then you've got Kick-Ass running around there. He's running around trying to save the place. And you get that in fight at the end, and shit you not, when you hear the vroom, 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 and fucking fire goes everywhere, you're like, I have to I need to go and clean my pants up downstairs. As a fan, I was like, that's fucking amazing. It's absolutely mint. Do you know? And like, some people are like, oh, fucking hell, the 90s one was far better. Like, fuck right off. I mean, look at the 90s one. It's just, that's how much effort they put into the steelbook. It's an eye. You know what I mean? And he's less like, hiya, you alright? It's like, fuck me, man. I mean, don't get us wrong, it had some potential, that one, but no, I think, like, I really enjoyed it. I like the score. I like all the characters come down. I liked how much foundation they give the film to warrant it being a multiverse. Then we got Skull Island, Kong, which obviously throws it all the way back. Samuel L. Jackson, and there's like, right, who's available off the Avengers? Because you've got Tom Hiddleston in there as well, and Brie Larson. It's like, how we might cast a little bit wider of the spectrum, please. But I think Skull Island was class. I love the throwback to being in the 60s. I love how Kong's fucking huge, and he's just like, right, come on, and it's not Beauty That Killed the Beast story anymore. You know what I mean? That's gone, which is great for that. And there's some creepy little bits with loads of fucking creepy little tribesmen and all that. You know, they're all like, oh, yeah, you're right, and like creeping everyone out. But again, that's mint. And, you know, again, Kong just left him on his island. At the end of Kong, it's setting up towards Godzilla coming in, and you hear the Godzilla roar, and you're like, oh. Then we get the sequel, which is Godzilla King of Monsters. And, like, Toho's like, do what you want. So here comes Mothra, who had her own movie, you know what I mean, and has had multiple appearances in Godzilla movies. We had Rodan, who had his own movie, and then appears throughout the Godzilla universe. Then we have King Ghidorah, again, the three-headed demon, fucking right, whack, visually fucking stunning. Some of the bits with the volcanics and fucking King Ghidorah on top of the thing is just like, wow. And then you've got, again, it's sad that most of the cast from the original don't come back. Like, where'd Kick-Ass run off to, you know what I mean? But again, isn't like Scarlet Witch in the first one as well? It's definitely the same casting agent as the Avenger movies. But anyway, like, they're all like running around. You've got Rodan in there, and it's like, you're looking, there's like the Loch Ness Monsters on the map. You go, oh, there's a fucking one in the Loch Ness, what's in there? Skull Island's reference. You see a little bit of Kong. It's building, it's building, it's building. And we should have had Godzilla versus Kong now. And my prediction for that is Godzilla and King Kong will fight. King Kong will win to become King Kong, but there'll be an antagonist. You know, Rodan's still flying around. They've got Toho's collection. I mean, you just need to go back to this and go, Toho's got fucking God knows of giant fucking crabs. I don't want to fucking rip this because it's my gem. You know, Godzilla versus King Kong. You know, it's not going to be as about King Ghidorah. I mean, fuck me, that bit when he starts dancing in the original's like, fucking come on. You know, I mean, this is probably a bad example. But you've got Ghidorah, You got, as I say, there's loads of stuff they can bring in, but Godzilla vs. Kong will have to be the end. You know, they just need to just absolutely destroy the world. I think there'll be a nice close to a trilogy, or a four-way, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Mark's probably thinking, when the fuck's he going to stop talking? You asked, alright? So thank you for the love of movies, having me on the channel. I've just heard some racket out there. I was nice enough to salt my path yesterday, because I want some post stuff on Postman, but that's a different story. But yeah, if you come along with the channel, Loading Tree, there's lots of stuff Godzilla. Anything I've probably picked up has its own video. Also, I reviewed every single one of them in a row as I was watching them. As well, it's in the attic. There is a Godzilla sign for Godzilla 2 here. It is 6 foot high and 30 foot that way. Mentalism. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
Thanks very much, Stephen. Much appreciated there. Much appreciated that you came on to the For Love of Movies, because I haven't got a clue what Godzilla's about. Like I say, I mean, he's got like all the Godzilla movies that you've seen there. He had the book. What you didn't see there, if you go onto his channel, from the cinema, he's got this. It's like letters the size of me, and it goes probably about the length of this, even longer than this room. So it was like for the pictures, like Godzilla, like absolutely huge. I think he said that he kept it in his attic, but he has got a video on his channel with that, and it's. I think he didn't steal it from the pictures, but he snuck out with it from the pictures. They did give him it. But I'm looking forward to watching this, getting back into Godzilla. Like I say, I only really enjoyed the 1978 cartoon series of Godzilla and Godzuki. I didn't enjoy the one with Matthew Broderick. This one stars Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston is from the Breaking Bad series. I watched the first couple of series of them, and it was alright. He was in The Upside as well. I do like him as an actor, so hopefully he's good in this, and hopefully this is a good movie. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I think it's been going around since, what, like the 40s or something, Godzilla? Something like that. Loads of films, about 40 odd films. So if I like this one, I could look into getting some more. So I'm Mark, and this is For the Love of Movies. Thanks very much, Stephen, and goodbye. Don't get us wrong, the one with Matthew Broderick, we did have some good scenes in. I mean, I thought the CGI looked really good apart. It was like that dark all the time. It was always so dark in the movie. Raining all the time. It was just a bit off-putting how dark and rainy it was all the time. Like, was it in New York? And obviously it comes and was the old guy fishing on the pier. The cable. I thought that bit was really good.
Hello and welcome to the Outtakes. Okay, so Mark has filled us in on his version of Godzilla. And my phone is moving. That's an outtake. Look at this. This is why I don't film on my phone. I had the perfect shot, Mark. I had the perfect shot.
Like an angel on your shoulder, see? And if you ever get hurt, and you feel that you're going down, this little angel is going to whisper in your ear. He's going to say, "Get up, you son of a bitch! Because Mickey loves you."